whether you choose to leave one and stay with one, or you choose to stop smoking 2 packs of cigarettes and smoke 1 pack of cigarettes, you are still addicted. Contrary to popular opinion, we did not wake up one day and decide to destroy our lives with drugs. For me, it started with just a little decision I made, something I thought I could control just to find a way to cope with the pain and the grief. And next thing I knew, I was fighting for my life. Now, if you think that drugs is all vibes and cruise and inshallah, come, let me show you the side they don't show you on Instagram. The side that actually haunts us. So I am Sumisola Olusi, and I'm your host on Recovered Addict. Addiction is addiction. For me, I started, I was on drugs for about, no, I was on drugs for about 9 years. And in that space of time, I was exposed to different types of drugs. This is a very common thing. You tend to graduate from one particular drug to another, probably a stronger one, and it starts very simply. Probably you just felt maybe you're taking this one, and then you're at a party or with a few friends, and they're taking a different thing. And if you're someone that is inquisitive like me, you'd be like, okay, let me just try it. And let me tell you something, very common something. You see all these people that take drugs, they are always looking for somebody that they will carry and join body. So they will always invite you. It's not like food though, that somebody will eat and they will not say you will eat. This one, they will invite you wholeheartedly so that you come and join them. So they will invite you. Then if you are not the kind of person that you know that, okay, these are things I don't want to, these are lines I don't want to cross, you just be like, let me just try it. You see that, let me try it. Don't just try it, because you have entered Gbege. That's it. That started. And then, at that point, you just feel it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But my dear, it's already a big deal. So, when you get to the point where you're thinking of, say, okay, you want to quit, like when I was really serious about quitting, like in that space of time, I said I was exposed to a lot of drugs. At every point in time, I never really did more than like one or two. And when I say like one or two, I mean like I'll smoke cigarettes and then I'll smoke Colorado. But there was a time when I was doing the two. So maybe I just finished smoking my cigarette now. I will smoke my Colorado. Like just anyhow, it doesn't really matter. And most people have a specific substance that they take, that they prefer, for different reasons, and they tend to stick to it. But as a drug, as somebody that uses substance already, you are more susceptible to trying something else, and that's how people graduate into stronger and stronger, substance use. Now, when you get to the point where you're trying to quit, a lot of people try different methods. Like sometimes you reduce your intake. For me, I tried the reducing intake. I tried quitting one and sticking to one. In my mind, I thought I was wise. I quit cigarettes and then I stopped with the Colorado. In my mind, I thought I was making, progress, But I was deceiving myself because, in fact, it now became worse because, cigarettes is easy to find. You can just go to the Aboki and you will easily get it. But Colorado is kind of like a controlled substance. It's expensive. It's sold in really, really small quantities. And it's not sold everywhere. And so it's not something that I can get whenever I just feel like it. So you see those times that I'm unable to get it for whatever reason, whether it's money, whether the dealer is not around yet, or the person has closed. as for whatever reason it is, I'm not able to focus. I can't function. I get easily irritated. Like, it's just not working for me. And when I now decided that okay, this is the only thing I want to take, and I stayed with it even became worse because before I would take this one, then I would use the other one to augment it. But now this was the only thing I was taking. And like I said, it got to a point where I stopped eating altogether. My point is this: whether you choose to leave one and stay with one, or you choose to stop smoking 2 packs of cigarettes and smoke 1 pack of cigarettes, you are still addicted. Your problem is still there, and you are not in control. You are just deceiving yourself, and the addiction is helping you to deceive yourself that you are making headway. And the cutting down method, which is the most popular one for most people, like a lot of people when they finally try to quit and realize that okay, this thing is out of my control, it's not actually something I can just stop. Once I say, we always have that mentality that we feel, no, don't worry, anytime I want, I can just stop. But when you finally try to stop and you realize that okay, this thing is not actually in my control, most people now resort to cutting down. Say, okay, let me start taking 1 pack of cigarettes instead of 2. Then, before that, you were just smoking without thinking, where you just need it, you smoke it, you don't even know why you're smoking it. You shall know that you shall know that you shall need it and you shall take it. Now it's different. You now have maybe 20 sticks and you have 24 hours in the day. So you start managing it. You now say, okay, if I wake up around 7 a.m. and I smoke my first cigarette at 7 a.m., then maybe before you would have smoked the second one immediately safe. So you now be like, okay, let me not smoke the second one. Let me wait till like maybe 8 or 8:30, before I smoke the next one. Now, what this does is you will now realize that in between those times that you're trying to wait, you feel this discomfort. It's difficult to explain. It's not hunger. It's just uneasiness, this agitation, you just be irrational and angry, and then you now end up blaming it on the fact that you're trying to quit. Especially when it gets unbearable, you feel this thing is just, and then you know what we call it? We call it withdrawal symptoms. We say it's withdrawal symptoms. Anytime you're trying to quit, because there's nobody you're going to describe this feeling to. They're going to tell you, oh, it's withdrawal symptoms. It happens when you're trying to quit. That is one of the myths about smoking that is actually wrong. You see, when you're dealing with drugs, withdrawal symptoms is always present as long as you're dealing with drugs. That it's just that it is stronger for others than some other people, and usually it's something that just stays in the under, like you don't get to notice it because you don't have to deal with it. Withdrawal symptom is actually that thing that made you to smoke the next joint of the day. Let's say you woke up in the morning. Yes, good example. When you woke up in the morning and the first thing you did was smoke, it was withdrawal symptom. The withdrawal symptom that you had all through the night. But maybe your withdrawal symptom has not gotten to the point that it wakes you up. So you actually, some people with their withdrawal symptom wakes them up in the middle of the night to smoke and go back to sleep. And but for you can actually sleep 6 hours, 8 hours and wake up. So people will even have breakfast before they take their first substance. Do you understand? Now, by the time you are taking that thing that made you to take the second one, by the time you've been an addict for a while, you realize that you're not really getting any sort of high from what you're taking. You're now just taking it out of, like, that's why some people describe it as it's just a hobby. It's not even a hobby. They say it's an habit. Yeah, it's a habit. Do you understand? Because they just do it. And meanwhile, it's not really a habit because it's not that you're not, yes, truly you're not getting a high, but you are actually taking it because of the withdrawal symptom. The only difference is that you're not really feeling it. And this withdrawal symptom, the time frame can can differ depending on what you're taking and how often you take it. So let's say, for instance, if you take, for example, cigarettes, and you take these cigarettes, let's say 7 a.m. in the morning, you start feeling your withdrawal symptom around, say, 7:30, and so you tend to, take your next joint at 7:30. Now, when you decide, when you're being conscious and you feel, okay, I want to quit, and you've gotten conscious of when you actually smoke, before you were just doing it without, you didn't even notice, you can't even tell how many joints you've taken in a day. But this time you are being conscious, you now say, okay, now you are feeling the withdrawal symptom. But you've planned that you don't want to smoke until, say, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. in the morning. So now you now need to live through the withdrawal symptom. And then you feel how uncomfortable it is. Then you attribute it to the fact that you are trying to quit. And then you say, trying to quit is hard, is this. And then you go back to when you didn't have to, count, and you just go back to the attitude. And then you just keep, taking whatever you're taking again in order to escape the withdrawal symptom. But in actual fact, you did not. And it is still there. Another thing I want to discuss is, every person that takes a substance, that is reliant on that substance, how they each have a justification for it. A lot of people will be like, why are you smoking? Don't you know it's not good? Don't you know that it has health issues? We know that. But I can tell you that we have a justification for what we are doing. The justification might not be real, but to us, it is real. Like, I felt like it helped me to sleep better and relax, because I honestly couldn't sleep, and I only slept when I took it. But what I didn't realize was that it was partially solving a problem that it created in the first place. And that's how these things work. Whatever you think it's doing for you, it's not a problem. If you look at yourself and think back, that problem does not exist before you started taking this thing. It is this thing that has created this problem. Then it kind of solves the problem, for a time. And over time, it solves the efficiency of it solving the problem reduces. What I mean is, if, for instance, you're taking it because you don't want to think about things, like maybe in my case, I was thinking because I didn't want to, leave my grief, and then I was smoking, and then maybe normally it will work for 2 hours, and you keep taking it, then before you know it, the 2 hours will reduce to 1 hour 30 minutes, then before you know it, the 1 hour 30 minutes reduce to 1 hour, and maybe it takes to 30 minutes. Now, that is how your intake will begin to increase. And that's actually how intake increases. You just see that before you used to smoke maybe once in a day. Then before you know now, you're not smoking twice in a day. Then before you know now, every 30 minutes, you're not going to jump to that, but you get my point. And then that is actually how people become, addicted. That you just be like, you cannot do without smoking. And they can't, they don't even understand what's happening. And that's really usually how it works. So basically, addiction traps you into thinking that it's helping you to solve a problem. But I need you to remember that the problem that it is pretending to solve, it is the one that created that problem in the first place. So all in all, the major point I want you to take from this is addiction is addiction, whether you are taking 3 different substances or you are taking only one. Because some people feel they are better than somebody because that one used to take everything and they are only taking one. And me, I only smoke like 2 times in a day. You people are the same. Or whether you like, or it's only a matter of time before you will become that other person. It's basically the same. Or you want to reduce it and you want to take like 1 instead of 2. It is still addiction. Like, you just need to be realistic with yourself. And the second point I want you to take home is that cutting down is not the same thing as quitting. And you're only elongating your suffering because you're just, it's like being put in a prison. You have the keys to the prison. You're walking around in the prison, but you are still not letting yourself go. That's the best analogy I can give to cutting down. You're just elongating your prison sentence. So the best thing is, decide today. As long as you are still alive, there is hope. See, I don't want to know how bad you think things have gone. I don't want to know how bad you think, oh God, I've gone too far. There is no such thing. As long as you are still alive, that you are still breathing, then there is hope for you. as long as you're alive, you just need to remember that the first thing you just need to do is accept the reality of what is going on. I know it's not easy, to accept that, oh, I'm an addict. There's that phase that you're thinking, you're researching, you're pressing on your Google to know whether you'll be asking your questions on the internet. But look, the first thing is, if you can accept that truly you're an addict, and I always suggest you ask for help. I know it's not easy. Also be careful who you ask for help, before you say I'm the one that advised you to go and ask for help. But ask for help, because it's not always easy to do it alone. You might have ginger the first day, and even the first hours, and then the ginger will dwindle and fade away like fire that they've poured cold water. So a lot of times you need like external ginger to keep you going, someone that really loves you, that believes in you, that you probably don't even want to disappoint and all that. And I can tell you, as long as you know what you want and you're determined, it's a very good stepping stone to, coming out of it. I still remain your host, Simisola Olusi. And don't forget to subscribe and like. Look at our channel. It's very important, It helps us and it gingers me to do more. Thank you for your love. Till next time. Bye-bye.